Frieren is the most overpowered mage in the world, boasting an extraordinary concentration of mana and mastery over diverse forms of magic. Having lived for at least a millennium, Frieren struggles with the concept of time. This difficulty translates into her habit of finding it hard to rise early, coupled with her inability to grasp how time passes for humans. This perception contributes to her aloof nature. She views extended periods as too fleeting to form meaningful connections. Frieren embarks on the journey back to the royal capital alongside hero Himmel's party, joined by Eisen and Hyder in a horse-drawn cart. Their triumphant return follows their recent defeat of the Demon Lord. Amidst discussions about their completed quest, Frieren remains engrossed in her book, paying little attention to the conversation. Arriving in the capital, they are welcomed with grand celebrations. They receive an audience with the king, hailed as heroes, and are honored with a celebratory party. Amidst the festivities, Hyder indulges in liquor while Himmel excitedly discusses the statues being erected in their honor, much to Frieren's discontent. She feels dissatisfied with the reward, believing the king had not adequately supported their efforts. Hyder, on the other hand, is content with the free drinks. The group reminisces about their adventures, recounting near executions, breaks due to Hyder's drunkenness, and Frieren's encounters with mimic traps. Despite the challenges, they cherish the past 10 years. Frieren's casual remark about it being only 10 years stuns the others, highlighting the profound difference in the perception of time for elves. Together, they witness the rare meteor showers that occur once every 50 years. Frieren, unimpressed with the view, promises to provide a better one the next time they witness the phenomenon, and they pledge to meet again. Afterward, Frieren sets off to continue her quest for spells. Her plan involves traveling for 100 years with occasional visits to the royal capital. As the years pass, Frieren explores different terrains and biomes, assisting others and deepening her knowledge in the arcane arts. One day, Frieren visits a potions and magic shop in search of a shadow dragon horn for a summoning spell. She finds the shopkeeper doesn't have the rare item in stock. Recalling that she had entrusted one to Himmel, and realizing that it was almost time for their promised 50-year meeting for the meteor showers, she decides to visit the capital. Walking through the town, she notices the significant changes it has undergone. Suddenly, she hears her name called out and turns to find Himmel, now an old man. Frieren visits Himmel's house and inquires about the horn. He explains he has kept it all these years as a cherished token from their friendship, a sentiment Frieren hadn't expected. While waiting for Himmel to get ready to view the meteor showers, Frieren notices a statue has been erected in their honor on the streets. Upon reaching the capital's entrance, Frieren, Himmel, Eisen, and Hyder reunite. Hyder appears old, but Eisen seems unchanged. They question where she's taking them, to which Frieren responds that it's a week's journey from there. They travel together, their former glory days now cast as a mere shadow. However, Frieren and Eisen demonstrate their skills by swiftly defeating a monster, Frieren effortlessly dispatching it with a single shot of magic. They arrive at a beautiful plain with a lake reflecting the sky, where they watch the Era meteor shower together for the last time. Days pass, and Himmel passes away. The kingdom attends the funeral, where attendees gossip about Frieren's apparent lack of sadness. In an attempt to deflect attention, Eisen and Hyder express their lack of sorrow as well. Frieren contemplates her feelings, realizing the brevity of human life. Initially distant, she begins to grieve as she reminisces about her adventures with the hero party, regretting not having known Himmel better. After the funeral, the trio bids farewell. Hyder, without regrets, believes defeating the Demon Lord secures his place in heaven. Frieren shares her intention to continue her journey, collecting spells and learning more about humans. She invites Eisen, but he declines, citing his age as a hindrance to wielding a weapon. With her goodbyes said, Frieren departs on her journey again. Many more years elapse. Not far from the holy city of Strahl, Frieren finds herself lost. A young girl with purple hair approaches her, offering assistance. Frieren explains that she is searching for Hyder, so the girl guides her to him. When Frieren arrives, she is surprised to find Hyder alive, albeit in his old age. Despite Frieren's offer of a drink, Hyder declines, having quit drinking. As they sit and talk, Frieren notices the young girl, Fern, seemingly at home serving them tea. Hyder reveals that Fern is a war orphan he has adopted. Appreciative of Hyder's past kindness, Frieren voices her wish to settle her debts before his time comes to an end. Hyder then makes a request. He asks Frieren to take Fern as her mage apprentice. Frieren refuses the request due to her concerns for the child's safety. In response, Hyder presents another request. He asks her to decipher a grimoire on resurrection and immortality, confessing his own fear of death. Frieren agrees, accepting the task that will take 6 years. Additionally, Hyder requests that Frieren trains Fern in magic during her free time, a request Frieren agrees to as well. Finding Fern gazing over the horizon from a cliff, Frieren acknowledges the girl's ability to conceal and control her mana. Fern confides in Frieren about her thoughts on magic, and Frieren, recognizing Fern's feelings, sees a reflection of her own experiences in the young girl. Fern reveals that according to Hyder, she will be considered a true mage once she can hit the distant rock formation with her magic. However, her spells dissipate before reaching the target. One day, Frieren decides to teach Fern the basics of magic while they're fishing. Sitting by the water, Frieren explains that mastering magic enough to hit that distant rock formation will take years of practice. Despite this, Frieren praises Fern for her control over magic, softening her criticism. Days turn into weeks, and Frieren dedicates herself to deciphering the grimoire while also mentoring Fern in her free time. Their bonds strengthen as they spend more time together. As time passes, Fern grows into a healthy, capable mage under Frieren's guidance. One day, while Frieren is talking to Hyder about Fern's progress, Hyder suddenly collapses. He is quickly taken to the bedroom to rest. Looking at Hyder, Frieren realizes that his time might be running out and promises to decipher the grimoire as quickly as possible. Approaching Fern during her training, Frieren shares the news about Hyder and suggests they pause their lessons to support him. However, Fern declines, insisting on becoming a proper mage before Hyder's passing, relieving Hyder of any worry about her future. Through a series of flashbacks, the story reveals Hyder's past kindness towards Fern, saving her from jumping off a cliff and giving her hope for the future. Hyder's actions inspired Fern to live for her family's sake, a lesson she carries from her adventures with him. Seeing Fern's determination, Frieren accepts her decision to continue training. Time continues to pass. Fern trains diligently, Frieren deciphers the grimoire, and Hyder's health deteriorates further, leaving him bedridden. The day eventually arrives when Frieren successfully deciphers the grimoire. Regrettably, she informs Hyder that it contains no spells of resurrection or immortality. To Frieren's surprise, Hyder reveals that he knew all along and had tricked her, hoping she would stay and train Fern. Now that Fern is a skilled mage, Frieren's previous dilemma of taking her along on travels is resolved. Hyder requests that they leave that night, as he doesn't have much time left. He does not want Fern to witness losing another loved one. Tearfully, Frieren insists that Hyder should spend his final days happily with Fern, as she is prepared for his eventual passing. Frieren questions why Hyder saved Fern, to which he responds that it is what the hero Himmel would have done. Frieren agrees, resolving to embody Himmel's virtues, and decides to take Fern along on her travels. Hyder passes away, and Frieren and Fern bid their final farewells by pouring liquor on his tombstone. During their travels, Fern aids Frieren in completing diverse quests, earning peculiar spells as rewards. Among their acquired spells are ones for removing rust from statues or enhancing the sourness of grapes. Fern questions Frieren's motives, and Frieren explains that these odd quests have become her hobby. One day, they receive a quest from a herbalist to clean the statue of Hero Himmel. The herbalist laments that the village would have been destroyed if Himmel hadn't saved them, yet now, the villagers don't even properly honor the statue. Frieren blames Himmel's vanity for the statue's existence, revealing that he spent 18 hours posing for the sculpture to achieve the perfect stance. Frieren swiftly cleans the statue with her spell, and they discuss the idea of planting flowers around it. Fern suggests that Frieren has a spell for that, but Frieren clarifies that it must be blue moonweed flowers, as Himmel once mentioned they were his favorite. To cast the spell to grow the flowers, Frieren needs to possess the flower first. The herbalist informs them that the flower hasn't grown in that region for years. Determined to find the flower, Frieren decides to stay in the village. 6 months pass, but they have no luck finding the blue moonweed flower. Fern becomes concerned that Frieren's obsession might lead the search to take years, diverting them from helping more people during their travels. Worried, Fern expresses her concerns to Frieren. During their conversation, a seed rat appears and takes a pouch of seeds Fern had. They chase after the rat and trail it using magic. As they walk, Fern questions Frieren's obsession with magic. Frieren reiterates it's just a hobby and that she grew to love magic after Himmel complimented her spells. Pursuing the seed rat, they find themselves standing before a tower. There, they stumble upon a field of blue moonweed flowers, grown accidentally by the rat's hiding seeds. Frieren and Fern, using their magical abilities, cast a spell to make the flowers bloom. As a vibrant field of blooms now encircles the statue, they choose to move forward on their journey. That's the end of this video. If you liked it, subscribe and comment for a part 2. Here is another video you might enjoy.